Hey guys, CryptoDad here. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw around questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins, going to move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So, an exciting week. Bitcoin broke another all-time high. So, of course, we're going to talk about that in the news. I've got a lot of news to cover tonight, so I don't want to spend too much time shooting the breeze, but I did get back from Trezor City. I was there last weekend. We had a great time. For those of you who don't know, Trezor City is at the very top of the lower Michigan Peninsula, and there's a couple of nice big bays there. And every year on the 4th of July, thereabouts, they have the National Cherry Festival. The climate up there is perfect for growing cherries. Their claim to fame is that they are the cherry capital of the world. The biggest crop is the tart cherry, which gets used in all kinds of industrial production and is sent all over the world. But for a brief, shining moment, you can get fresh, sweet Michigan cherries. We went and picked cherries. I don't know. I think I may have some pictures if I can dig them up, but we got a lot to cover tonight. But that was really nice. We watched the fireworks right there on the West Bay. It was a beautiful fireworks display. And then the next morning we drove up to Paradise, Michigan, which is in the UP, and went to what is known as the Root Beer Falls because of the minerals in the water, the biggest waterfall in Michigan. I think west of the Mississippi. I don't know, whatever it is. It's a pretty big waterfall, and we enjoyed that. And then we drove over to Sault Ste. Marie, which is in the upper northeast tip of the Upper Peninsula, borders right there on Canada. And they've got some very famous locks there where ships coming from Lake Superior can go through the locks and get down to Lake Huron. So we went on the Soo Locks tour. It was pretty cool. So we had a great vacation. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I looked at the clock. I had my laptop with me, but we were sitting in a restaurant in Sault Ste. Marie right around 6, the Lock View restaurant. Literally a view of the locks, the Soo Locks from the restaurant. They had the freshest whitefish I've ever tasted. It was really good. But I missed you guys, and it's great to be back. So we had an all-time high for Bitcoin, and then we also, I posted, let's go over here and I'll talk about that. First of all, let's greet everyone that's here. I want to thank everyone that came for the live stream. Kenny was here early. Will is here. Simon is here. Mr. Miskey. Let's see. We've got Wayne. We've got Andreas Ebert, who harvested some honey. That's awesome. That sounds really cool. Let's see. We've got Dustin and Shadow here again. Great to have you back. Hans Hannah 350. Gregory Whelan, E. Poston from Colorado. Roland Kane. Good to have you here, Roland. How are things going over there? Say hello to your wife and your kids. I'm sure they had to work around your live stream schedule this week, but I'm sure they understand. Christopher Tane from Melbourne. Crypto Otis, Loaded Turtles, asking me to do an updated Sui wallet video. I'll check into that. The wallet has changed a little bit. I think the name changed too since I posted my original video. Notice that video got quite a few views as well about buying Sui coin. Sui's been on the rise here lately as well. HR by Catherine, Benny, P. Wizzle, Do A, Fred McIntyre, Carol H. Who is my Coinbase? Why is my Coinbase wallet in computer online showing 0 while my Coinbase wallet extension is showing balance? These are two different wallets. Let's see. What do you got? My Coinbase wallet on your computer? and your extension, you might have created two separate wallets. If you've got the desktop version of the Coinbase wallet and the extension version of the Coinbase wallet, you may have set them up as brand new and wrote down separate seed phrases for them. So you might want to check into that. If you've got some holdings, I would double check, make sure that you have the seed phrase for that Coinbase wallet that has a balance. If you can't figure things out, I would suggest maybe moving the Bitcoin back to your quote unquote Coinbase account. Now that may be the balance you're looking at. I don't want to steer you wrong here, but things look a little confusing. So I would suggest making sure that that Bitcoin is secure one way or the other. If it's in the wallet proper, then you might want to double check and make sure you got your seed phrase for that wallet in case something happens to your browser or your computer. You never know what can happen. Amsterdam, Holland, I think Carol H., good to have you here. Dan, the man Westra, is here. Good to have you, Dan. Maury, no, so many people here tonight. I'm just going to stop greeting. Let's go over to this. If you've never been in the stream before, look down in the description. If you don't see the description, hit show more under your video and you will see all these wonderful goodies, stuff we're going to talk about, our agenda, my latest video. My latest video was about the Ledger Nano S losing support. I talked about that on the live stream 2 weeks ago. I edited down my little rant and posted that. That got a lot of negative feedback, but a lot of views. Let me see where I can go here. This one. This was this was one of my rants, and a lot of people felt it was condescending, and I was being rude and talking down to people. I was really more upset with the alarmist articles quoting these so-called crypto bros that had been around so long that didn't quite understand how hardware wallets worked. But I guess a lot of people got offended by that, and a lot of people decided to buy Ledger devices because of that. Go figure. But this one is my kinder, gentler ones. I've actually been pretty busy these last couple of weeks. I've posted several videos, but this was one of the bigger ones. I do want to point out that for those people that, hey, why are you getting so upset over this issue? I've been posting videos on this subject for months now, pleading with people to upgrade their hardware wallets. This one was from back in April. Upgrade your crypto wallet now. I did this one about store and manage, why set and forget could cost you crypto. A lot of these people with the Ledger Nano S's were, telling me, oh, I thought this thing would just hold crypto forever, and I didn't have to do anything. Your seed phrase holds crypto forever, but not your device. It's a little piece of plastic. It's like a flash drive, and those things have a lifespan, they wear out over time. And then my biggest crypto rant, which has over 100,000 views, was, I don't remember when this was. This was way back when did I post this? Does it say October 15th? I think so. I think it was last year. And this one has got over 112 views. And this is me ranting and raving about how you should replace your wallet. So I don't know. This one here, a bunch of people watched it and were like, oh, this guy's a jerk. But yeah, I'm like, the dad telling you, hey, I told you so. So anyway, check out all those videos on my channel. Let's see, I've got some new partners. I'm partnering with PROTON. They contacted me. I did a video on PROTON. I've got some links here for their email, privacy-based email, privacy-based VPN, browse privately. I've got a section here on crypto exchanges that I'm partnering with. You can use my link to sign up, and it'll benefit me and the channel. We've got Kraken, Crypto.com exchange. It's in the U.S. now. You can use the Crypto.com exchange in the U.S. now. We've got Coinbase. I got a link for Coinbase. And then for secure institutional custody, people with deep pockets and not a lot of tech skills, you might want to check out Caleb and Brown. And of course, don't miss hardware wallets. There's special offer on the CryptoDad landing page. If you scroll down here to the colored versions of Ledger Nano X from my page, you can get that 30% discount on all the colored models except for black and Bitcoin orange. You get 30% off, and I believe you still get that 10% rebate. I thought that's what they said. It kind of disappeared there when I did that. Well, that's weird. Maybe they took it off. I don't know. But anyway, at least you can use that landing page. I hope you can still get that rebate. I thought that's what she told me. And then a whole bunch of other hardware wallets that I've done videos on. And I've linked a lot of stories here, but I ran out of room. I didn't get them all linked. I just couldn't. There just were too many of them. Okay, so let's jump in. This headline is near 119. I think I put that on the thumbnail. I thought Dan said that we had broken 119 somewhere on some exchange, but the official all-time high for Bitcoin was clocked in at $118,790, which is as near as damn it, as they say in England, I guess, or the UK. Yeah, that's really close to 119. So there we go. Bitcoin soared to fresh record highs on Friday. World's largest cryptocurrency traded up 6.1% to 117,630, pulling back slightly after registering a new all-time high of 118,790. Pretty awesome. U.S. spot Bitcoin ETF saw 1.18 billion in net inflows as of Thursday, marking their sixth straight day of sharp gains. BlackRock's IBIT led the charge with 448.5 million in inflows. And then the milestones come amid growing demand from institutional investors for moving Bitcoin into treasury portfolios and ETFs. President Trump's administration earlier this year approved Bitcoin strategic reserve, stoking a favorable regulatory tone. Furthermore, Trump's family business, Trump Media and Technology Group, DJT, recently filed for regulatory approvals to launch a new crypto blue chip ETF later this year. The company has also filed for 2 ETFs earlier this month. So yeah, we're in full swing, guys. A lot of this is a good overview, but there are some more detailed stories that I wanted to hit. So this was the story on the 10th, which I believe was Thursday. Bitcoin breaks its all-time high. That was the day it set the new all-time high after several months. I don't remember when it last hit its all-time high. It's been at least a few months. So yeah, 113,800 as stablecoin reserves surged and retail investor-driven selling subsided. After posting new highs on Wednesday, Bitcoin is looking to close its highest daily candle after Bitcoin rallied to 113,800 on Thursday. You can see now the current price is 117,463. So we're safely above that now, and it's been pretty stable over the last 24 hours. Quite surprising, being a long-time Bitcoin market watcher. In the old days when Bitcoin made huge gains, they would inevitably pull back sharply within a day or so. And so we're not seeing that as much as we used to. Anonymous crypto analyst Sunflower Quaint pointed to a bullish development in the stablecoin supply ratio, a metric that tracks the market's available buying power. This tracks momentum shifts and has just made a bullish crossover. The type of crossover has historically appeared ahead of new capital inflows and stronger upward momentum in Bitcoin's price. It is a sign that liquidity may re-enter the market. Now they're talking a little bit about Binance here. Last month, Binance recorded a staggering 31 billion in US Tether and US dollar coin reserves, marking an all-time high. This suggests a massive pool of sidelined capital ready to funnel into Bitcoin and altcoins as conditions become favorable. Coda, thank you for that subscription. I appreciate it. Let's move on to the next story. We got a lot of stories to cover here. Bitcoin, Ether, tentative, XRP steady as Trump announces 30% tariff on EU and Mexico. This story is from today, but they did announce new tariffs, and usually they shake the markets. I think with each successive tariff announcement, the markets are, a little less shaken because he's constantly making these announcements, and then they either end up making a deal or they end up delaying them. So we'll see what happens this time. But the crypto markets were not very rattled, right? Just slightly down after this announcement. So this just points to the resilience of the crypto market. Talking about Mexico not doing enough. Trump issued new tariffs for several countries, including South Korea, Japan, Canada, and Brazil, along with a 50% tariff on copper, targeting volatility for the red metal. Expectations this weekend are we chop around in a tight range. Then Asia comes in late on Sunday evening and buys all the Bitcoin, and we break through 120K. This was posted on X by the founders of the newsletter service London Crypto Club. So we'll see. We'll all, Dan, I know Dan always keeps his eye on Sunday's closing price. That is our weekly close. So all eyes will be on our weekly close tomorrow night. If we stay stable at 117, then I think we're going to be doing pretty good. You know what? My camera, kitty. My overhead camera is not working too good. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we'll see. Kitty's here. I think Kitty was outside getting into trouble. So, yeah, I don't know where he's going now. Are you getting up here? Or are you getting down? Okay. All right, sorry about that. Just wanted Kitty to say hello. This balancing act that I do with all of my cameras is crazy. In my Streamlabs desktop software, I just can't seem to get every single camera working at the same time. I've got like 5 of them. So you saw me doing a camera check just before the live. When I first started the live stream, I forgot I was live. But I got most of the cameras working. Anywho, let's go on here. Bitcoin. Yeah, we covered this tariff story. Okay, here we are. This is from Thursday or Friday. Yeah, it was yesterday. Bears in disbelief. 1 billion in crypto shorts wiped out as Bitcoin pumps. You can short Bitcoin on the futures market. A lot of the futures market actually drives the spot price in many ways because you can see open interest, people that are long and people that are short. But on Thursday and Friday, a lot of short sellers got liquidated, and this just drives the price that much higher. Let's see. CoinGlass shows that 1.01 billion in crypto short positions were liquidated, impacting 232,000 traders. This includes approximately 570 million in Bitcoin shorts and 206 million in Ethereum shorts. The liquidations came as Bitcoin clocked a new record high for the second day in a row, 112,000 on Wednesday, 116,500 on Thursday, while Ether surged to 2,990 on Thursday. So a lot of stuff going on here. Where are we here? We here? Yes, U.S. Bitcoin ETFs record first back-to-back $1 billion inflows. That's 2 days in a row. U.S.-based spot Bitcoin ETFs saw over $1 billion in inflows on 2 straight days for the first time ever, as Bitcoin hit new all-time highs this week. Unbelievable, guys. U.S.-based spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded $1 billion in daily inflows for the second consecutive day on Friday, marking the first time, their first time since January of 2024 launch that they've seen 2 back-to-back days with 10-digit inflows. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but there was one little nugget of information here at the bottom that I thought was incredible. It was recently reported that BlackRock now earns more revenue from its IBIT fund than its flagship S&P 500 fund. iShares Core S&P 500 ETF on an annual basis. So this is just incredible. Bitcoin has finally broken into mainstream finance. Really an incredible series of events, right? Altcoins are rocketing. Those of us who are interested in the altcoin market. Crypto analysis Matthew Hyland suggests altcoins will be ripping much more when Bitcoin dominance drops to 45%. Bitcoin dominance is the percentage of Bitcoin's market cap in comparison to the rest of the crypto market. So TradingView shows Bitcoin dominance is 64.4% at the time of publication, down just 1.53 over the past week, while altcoins saw significant price spikes amid Bitcoin reaching new all-time highs Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Hyland said, "What do you think happens if it drops from 65% to 45%? So analysts have traditionally used Bitcoin dominance to gauge the timing of altcoin season, with a decline typically seen as a signal that altcoins are gaining market share. However, Bitcoin, while BTC dominance stayed relatively steady, the recent altcoin surge could signal that fresh capital is flowing into the wider market." Wow. Just wow. Let me see here. Where am I at? Bitcoin ETFs record. Okay, so that was the last one that... whoops, let me get back up here. Altcoins. Okay, this was the last one that I have linked. So I'm going to do you guys a favor and post these into the chat window in case you want to follow these. Let's see, where are we at here? So we did that one, and then we've got Bitcoin price expected to accelerate if daily close above 113 is secured. I think we did that. This was from Thursday. So Bitcoin's momentum continues to accelerate above 113,000, leading traders to predict a rally to 150,000. So I think we've met the criterion of this particular article and or prediction, shall we say. New all-time high of 113,788. And so we're hoping that we can close higher than, well, it's what they said at the top, right? That's the main thing. Above 113. We're at 117 now, so I think we're there. So we could see a rocket up to 150,000 per Bitcoin. So let me drop that in the chat window for you guys. Yeah, as I said, my YouTube description can only be so long, and I ran out of room because I had so many affiliate links, right? Strategy, Metaplanet, and others sit on billions in Bitcoin gains, and they're not selling. Bitcoin is trading at all-time highs. Major holders like Strategy and El Salvador are sitting on massive unrealized profits, with Bitcoin trading at record highs. MicroStrategy turned Bitcoin holding giant owns nearly 600,000 Bitcoin, and has made an estimate 28 billion in unrealized profits at 117,464. The company has spent more than 42 billion accumulating its stash, which makes it the third largest Bitcoin holder. Only the pseudonymous Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto and the asset manager BlackRock hold more. Another incredible milestone. Let me paste that one in there. So yeah, things are looking good market wise. And then I did have this story here. I'll post that down in the chat window. Okay, so this is a scam. You have to be aware of these scams. Now, I just want to break down exactly what's happening. Most scams are based on greed or fear. This one looks to be based a little more on greed. So basically, they are posing as a startup company involved in AI, gaming, Web3, and social media. And they use compromised X accounts, and the threat actors supplement the fraud with Medium articles and GitHub entries. So if you thought that, you hear something and you go over and you Google it real quick to verify that it's legit, and you see a Medium article, or even something on GitHub, it could just be an elaborate scam. They're getting much more sophisticated. But what they're doing is reaching out to their victims on X messages, Telegram, or Discord. Well, first of all, anybody that reaches out to you on X or Telegram or Discord is most likely a scammer. These platforms are just full of scammers. And by that same token, anybody that reaches out to you through text, email, or phone is probably a scammer too. I mean, everything is a scam these days, guys. So a fake employee of the company will contact a victim asking them to test out software in exchange for a cryptocurrency payment. So there's the greed, right? Hey, would you mind testing out our software? We're a legit startup. We just want, we'll pay you in crypto if you'll test out our software. Well, as soon as the unsuspecting user installs the software on their computer, it's malware, and it begins to extract information about the computer. At a certain point, credentials from cryptocurrency wallets are stolen. This works on Windows and Mac. And now keep in mind, these credentials that they're talking about would only be for hot wallets that you have installed on your computer. If you have Ledger Live, if you run MetaMask and you're securing your accounts with your Ledger device, then you would be immune to this sort of thing. This will only affect computers that are running hot wallets. So don't run hot wallets. Use hardware wallets. Enough said about that, right? Also, you can run... First of all, don't fall for these scams. And second of all, if you did somehow get pulled in, or maybe your kid did or whatever, and they've installed software on your computer, then a really good, I don't even have it running right now, is Malwarebytes. What am I running? Am I running anything? I recently reinstalled everything on my computer. I don't think I even have my, let me go over here. Oh, I just need to open up it. So Malwarebytes is a good one. What's nice about Malwarebytes is you can download the free version of Malwarebytes to clean malware off your computer, totally for free. The pro version runs in the background and will, alert you live if something tries to get on your computer. But if you already have malware and you want to clean it off, free Malwarebytes is a great resource for doing that after the fact. And then the antivirus that I use is ESET Security. I think they're based in I want to say Slovakia. I'm not sure. It's an Eastern European company, but I've used this software for years. It's really fast and efficient. It doesn't have a lot of crazy pop-ups. For their other products, they like Norton does that. They're always like, oh, get our password manager, get this, get that. It's like you're installing adware on your computer with some other virus protection. But yeah, ESET is good virus protection and firewall. And then if you don't, Windows Defender is not bad. Microsoft Defender, they call it now. It's installed by default in Windows. So just keep your computer safe and secure, especially if you're in crypto, but definitely use malware definitely use a hardware wallet. There we go. All right, so let me see where everybody's at. I think that's the last story I wanted to hit. Welcome, everybody. Let's see here. What are we doing? Let me get rid of these. I've got too many of these open. This one. Okay. I was talking earlier about doing some other videos. If you look at my my latest videos, I did one on Proton, as I mentioned. I did one on the Crypto.com exchange. These are how-tos. And then the One Key Classic 1S Pure, which is their latest model. This is a really cool little device. What I like about it is compared to the, and I don't seem to have one laying around handy here. Let me see if I can find one. No, I can't find it. I have a Ledger Nano S Plus around here somewhere. But of course I'm not going to be able to find it. Is this one? Okay, yes, this is one. All right, so this is the Ledger Nano S. Let's go over here. Okay, I haven't muted anything. So this is the Ledger Nano S Plus. Interestingly enough, this is a Ledger Nano X, which is a little more advanced. It's got Bluetooth and all that stuff. The screen on the Ledger Nano S Plus is the same size, and you can't really see it very well because as the Ledger Nano X. You wouldn't know it looking at the device. This just has more, I'm sorry, the X just has more bezel around it. But the screen size is the same. But still, it's a pretty small little screen. And it's got this little button interface. I'm not that crazy about the interface on the old Nanos. I don't use them very much. But this is the low end or entry model of the Ledger line. That's $79. This is the One Key Classic Pure, which is, they have a One Key Classic with a battery, and it's $99, and you can carry that around, and it has Bluetooth and stuff, so it works with the desktop or the phone app. This one has no battery, so it has to be plugged in, but apparently it does have Bluetooth, so it could interface with a phone, but not as practical because you'd have to have it charged somehow. So, I mean, if you're charging it, you might as well just have your laptop with you or whatever, you know, because you can't charge it from your phone. But it does have Bluetooth. But anyway, it's it's a really nice, very light, fits right in your top pocket, real easy to carry around. I like the interface of this one better than the Ledger Nano S Plus. And this is also $79, same price. And I did a video on this one. It's part of the OneKey line. OneKey has a great desktop-based app. It's fully open source. Now, I should also mention, a lot of people, oh, is it open source? Because Ledger is not. That's the big, I don't know. I want to call it FUD, but it's like the narrative that's out there is that, ever since Ledger announced their recovery service, that everyone suddenly discovered that Ledger is not completely open source. And apparently every other wallet is. Well, that's not correct. Most cryptocurrency hardware wallets employ secure element chips, including the OneKey Classic 1S Plus. Pure, pardon me. And all their other ones. Any cryptocurrency hardware wallet worth its salt, and I forgot to record this whole thing. I'm going to do that. Any cryptocurrency hardware wallet worth its salt has a secure element chip. That's just the reality of it. And secure element chips are secret by design. They're made by very large companies that they make their chips for all kinds of purposes. You see these chips in ATM cards and credit cards. They're embedded in passports. They're embedded in company ID cards. These chips are secret. That's the idea is secrecy. You've heard of military secrets. It's because to be effective, it has to be a secret, right? So everyone's squawking about, oh, it's not open source. Well, open source is a great idea, and it fits very well with software projects, but for cryptocurrency hardware devices, it's not a good fit. So kind of banish this idea from your mind that this narrative out there that Ledger's not open source. I want an open source hardware wallet. They aren't really around. I believe the Blockstream Jade is 100% open source. I can't get them to send me one. I don't know why. But I'm a little skeptical. I've looked at it a little bit. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it doesn't have a secure element chip. I don't know. But I wonder about its tamper resistance if it doesn't have a secure element chip. But anyway, where was I? I'm at this guy. I would say this one, the software is fully open source. The OS on the device itself is probably 95% open source because everything's open source except the code that runs on the secure element chip. The same is true for Ledger devices, right? Got my Ledger Flex, my Ledger Stacks. All those have secure element chips. I'm getting off track here. But let me catch up because I have one. I'd like to give it away as a surprise to my faithful live stream viewers. We're going to run a little contest here in a few minutes, but let me catch up with the stream and make sure Kitty's down there, sleeps on the floor now. I just wanted to see if there are any burning questions. Lucky you, I'm still looking to buy whitefish at the grocery store here in Miami. Carol, thank you. I was Pop's house. We go into the moon. Well, maybe we are. Let's see. Here we are. The video is one of the best I've seen on YouTube. Very funny, man. I thought it was funny. I'm trying to be somewhat funny, but when I do my rants, I'm being funny, just like Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller live on HBO, he would do a rant almost every one of his monologues, and they were hilarious, but it's a kind of a tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic rant. And so, but people that I had edited down a lot of the explanations of extra stuff, and it had boiled down to just my rant, and a lot of people were like really offended by my rant, although I thought it was kind of funny. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on the Sharp Link gaming stock? They've been buying Ethereum. I don't really do coin evaluations. I stick with market analysis, generalized market analysis, and really my forte is self-custody and technical support.
avoiding scams, keeping your computer and your crypto secure. That's really my area of expertise. And I haven't even heard of this anyway, so even if I wanted to, I couldn't give you a very good evaluation of that coin. Let's see here. In my opinion, that sharp link, okay, he's still talking about that. He's kind of shilling, but he kind of stopped. So where's it? Can you imagine? Okay, so here we are. Alt season might explode. Dan the man. What's my Bitcoin price prediction? I would leave it to the experts. I spent the first half hour going through several articles written by people much more qualified than me about their Bitcoin predictions. Could you use a power bank with it? I don't know what a power bank is. Stacks or Flex. I like Stacks myself, but it's kind of a vanity purchase. The screen is bigger. It even wraps around the edge, but even the working area of the screen is bigger than the Flex. So I like the Stacks better just because I'm old. And so, everything's just a little bit bigger on the Stacks, like, for a fat-fingered guy like me, when you're punching in your pin and that kind of stuff, it's easier on the Stacks. But there's a big price difference between Stacks and Flex. So Flex is $250, Stacks is $399, it's $400. So I've got a lot of flack on that video, mostly about people claiming, oh, I can't afford to buy a new hardware device, and a lot of people berating me, saying, hey, not everybody, is into crypto as much as you. Not everybody can just run out and buy a new hardware device. Well, I mean, come on, we're talking $79 here. You can't even go out to eat with your family, for that anymore, really. Even Burger King. Like when I go to Burger King with my family, and we like doubles. So yeah, we're kind of extravagant, but if all four of us get a double Whopper combo, it's like $80, something. It's over $80. So I mean, come on, man, $79. And our air conditioner hasn't been working right. We had a guy come out here, and the motor on the outer part, we thought it was we have a furnace heater cooler unit. Well, I was just sure it was something wrong with that. Well, as it turns out, it was the outdoor part of the air conditioner. The motor was blown. $2,800. So, or your car breaks down, and that's $1,000. Or, you need to get your oil changed. That's $100, maybe, 50 or 60 if you're, go to one of those cheap places. But I mean, it's a daily expense. So I just don't understand anyone that's holding crypto claiming that they can't afford a $79 replacement for their old, outdated device. And I'm getting down to the bottom here. I did want to cover this in a little more detail. As I mentioned, we talked about this on the stream last week. But I did want to cover in a little more detail the exact thing. Let's go over here just real quick so that I can do a quick little intro here. So yeah, I did a couple of videos last week about Ledger ending support for the Ledger Nano S. And one of them was a bit condescending, so I got a lot of negative feedback on that. But I'm basically berating people to get their device upgraded, which I thought I was doing them a favor. But anyway, I did want to go into a little more detail of exactly what the current support for the Ledger Nano S is. I did a follow-up video, and I'll put links to those down in the description, about what you could do if you still have a Ledger Nano S. And my plea to you is make sure you've got your seed phrase. If you can find your seed phrase, that's great, but you should also run the Ledger recovery check to verify that seed phrase. It's a little utility you can download to make sure that your seed phrase is written down correctly. I've seen this happen before. people dig out their old seed phrase, and then when they try to use it, it says it's invalid. So if you've got an old Ledger Nano S, make sure you have your seed phrase and run that recovery check. I have a video on that. If you can't find your seed phrase and your device is still working, which it should be working, just because they end support doesn't mean the device will suddenly stop functioning. It just means that they're not going to provide upgrades anymore, but we'll go into more detail. But if you can't find your seed phrase, I'm begging you, please transfer your crypto somewhere else. If it's just common sense, protect your investment. So let's go into a little more detail of exactly where Ledger support stands on the Ledger Nano S. I know that's near and dear. They sold millions of these devices. A lot of people that were into crypto early on have them. So let's go into that real quick here. And let's see. So this is a Ledger blog. I'll put a link to this down in the description. Let me just quickly do this for the live stream people. Let's put this over here. I'll paste this down in here just quickly. The Ledger Nano, okay, first off, cannot stress this enough. I was pelted with questions about the Ledger Nano S Plus. So Ledger is putting this first and foremost. This notice is for users for the Ledger Nano S only. The Ledger Nano S Plus is a different device and continues to be fully supported. So just if you've got a Ledger Nano S Plus, you are okay. Don't freak out. All the Ledger Nano S Plus users have been freaking out in my comments. The Ledger Nano S Plus is a current device. As we are phasing out support for Ledger Nano S, future changes in blockchain networks may affect its compatibility and support for features, blockchain updates, and security enhancements. While your secret recovery phrase and funds will remain secure, we recommend upgrading to maximize your self-custody experience. Now, I've been getting a lot of people that are like, I don't care about all that stuff. I bought my device. I thought it was going to last me forever. First of all, that's a little bit unrealistic, but I get it. I understand. But even if you don't care about any of these additional features, and they mention them over here, these are the features that the Ledger Nano S won't support. Ledger Recover, Ledger Sync, Clear Signing, Ledger Live Swaps, Thorchain, a whole bunch of device. Okay, so even if you don't care about that stuff, I talked about it in the other video, app developers are updating their apps, and third-party app developers are responsible for the apps that run on your device. I'm not talking about Ledger Live. I'm talking about the actual apps that run on your Ledger device, like the SUI app, or the Cosmos app, or the Cardano app, or the XRP app. Those are all made by their developers, not Ledger. So those apps keep getting bigger. Crypto evolves. Even Bitcoin evolves. So the Bitcoin app gets increasingly, it takes up more space every time they update it. So they're talking about that this device just doesn't have enough space. Right now, 62 kilobytes is used by the Bitcoin application, the app, right? So if all you have is the operating system and these three apps, well, these two cryptos and then their exchange app, if you're doing swaps in Ledger Live, that leaves only 6 KB. And if they were going to keep allowing the app updates from the developers, then pretty soon the Bitcoin app would get bigger than this, maybe 70 KB or 75 or 80 KB. There'll be a certain point where it won't fit on the device. Okay, so and then they have a link here that takes you to a little more of a finer breakdown here about the Ledger OS and device apps policy. They talk about the apps that are made by the third-party developers. Most of the apps are submitted by third-party developers. Okay, where did they talk about the... Okay, here. This is the nitty-gritty right here. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see this. Sorry about that. Okay, for 2 years. Okay, first of all, Ledger Nano S was discontinued in 2022. There's some controversy. Some people think, oh, they should have discontinued it earlier. There were some people that bought it in 2021 that are mad because it's not that old for them, although the design of the device is from 2016. So I get it if you're a little upset about that. Maybe they could have discontinued it sooner. But it has been discontinued. It has reached its end of life. So that was June of 2022. So, and here's how their support works. For 2 years following a Ledger's end-of-life declaration, Ledger will provide both evolutionary updates, adapting to changes in blockchain protocols, UX enhancement, and corrective updates. That's bug fixes, security improvements. After this 2-year period, the device apps will be frozen, meaning they may continue to function, but will not receive updates to adapt to changes in underlying protocol. In the 3rd year after a Ledger's device's end-of-life declaration, Ledger will provide only corrective updates for security vulnerabilities. So that's the 3rd year after its end of life. Well, it just ended. June, at the end of June, that's 3 years after. So the 3rd year of security vulnerability updates, it's over. So I can definitively tell you that the Ledger Nano S will no longer be receiving any more firmware updates. If you have a Ledger Nano S, make sure you have your seed phrase. If you can find your seed phrase and you run that Ledger check to make sure it's a good seed phrase, then I would check to see if you're running the latest firmware, right? And then go ahead and update it to its very latest firmware. That's the least you can do, right? Now, just because they're not providing any more updates for the firmware doesn't mean the device is going to suddenly stop functioning. But there are sometimes when you're trying to manage Ethereum, you'll get a message saying, hey, you're not running the latest version of the Ethereum app, because Ethereum is always changing. Like Ethereum used to be proof of work, now it's proof of stake. So if you're still running like the old Ethereum app that was when Ethereum was proof of stake, you've got a device that's been in your drawer 5 years, you need to get that thing updated, right? And you may not be able to get it updated once the app updates are too far ahead of that, right? So if you were to run the firmware update, not only does it update the OS, but it wipes your apps off and reinstalls the latest versions of them. So make sure you get that firmware update done and get your apps updated now, because like next year, the Ethereum app may update and you might not be able to fit it anymore on the device. Or it may not function at all. So as long as you have, and Ledger mentions this many times, as long as you have that seed phrase, then your crypto is safe. You can use that seed phrase to import into a brand new device. And look, we're only talking $79 for the Ledger Nano S Plus. Now, if you're mad at Ledger over all this, I'm never going to use Ledger, and shoot yourself in the foot because you're butthurt over what a company did, then go get a different device. You can get a Trezor or you can get a OneKey. There are a lot of other hardware wallets that can import a 24-word recovery phrase, but not always seamlessly because there's derivation path issues. So you're much better off just transitioning over to another ledger. Or if you're going to import the seed phrase and just save transfer fees, you could transfer off the device anywhere. I don't understand. People just don't seem to realize that a crypto wallet can do more than just store crypto. It can also send crypto out, right? So you're not being forced to leave your crypto on your device. Do a send. It's not that difficult. So if you're mad at Ledger, then get a Tangem card and then send your Bitcoin from your Ledger device to your Tangem card. It's crypto transfer 101, right? So there are ways to get around this, but you can continue to use your device as long as it is usable. And that could be for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Who knows? But make sure you got that seed phrase in case you need it. And, I had done this video a while back. This one. Your device should be able to store and manage your crypto. A lot of people I just want to store. I don't care about anything else. You should be able to manage your crypto. You should be able, at a moment's notice, transfer the crypto somewhere else if you need to or want to, or do staking, or liquidity pools. Do whatever you want to do with your crypto. You should have a device capable of actively managing your crypto. Don't just think, it's safe because I don't need any of the bells and whistles. I'm just going to store my Bitcoin and give it to my great grandchildren. They're not going to be too happy when you give them this device that doesn't work anymore. So the seed phrase is the most important, but having a device that can actively manage your crypto is also very important. I would implore you to upgrade to something or transfer it to somewhere else, to some other kind of wallet. Stick with hardware wallets, but that's kind of how I see it. If you have any questions about anything I said, throw them up in the comments, and I'll do my best to get them answered. Let's go over here to let's see if anyone's challenging me. If you're into crypto, you should have a cold wallet. That's Crypto 101. Dagan, thank you very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You did right about Ledger Nano S. These people need to upgrade. Thank you, Tony. Fred, back in the day at the Burger King around the corner from me, the Whoppers used to be $2, 2 for $5 on a Tuesday. Yeah, I think when we did the live stream 2 weeks ago, I did bring up the tech cycle. I kind of cut out my discussion about that. And I was talking to Dan about this on Wednesday or Tuesday when we were at our crypto investor meeting. Dan said, hey, when I got this thing, I saw it had this little LED screen and these buttons, and I knew right away that those things were going to wear out over time. Dan, he's a mechanical engineer, worked in the Navy on an aircraft carrier, and worked at a local company here in Grand Rapids for many years. So he knows mechanics and devices, right? And, it's a no-brainer when you think about it. I had shown you the tech life cycle of Dell computers. It's 3 to 5 years. The tech life cycle of an iPhone is 3 to 5 years. I don't think an iPhone from 2016 would even work these days. It might. But it would be severely hampered. It can't run the latest Mac OS. So you might be able to make calls on it, but most of the apps that you try to run will tell you that your OS is too old. You may not even be able to make calls on a 2016 iPhone. So it shouldn't surprise you that a electronic gadget with 2 buttons on it is going to wear out, and I really feel sorry for the people that bought their Ledger Nano S in 2020 and 2021. But, it's been, almost 4 years for the people that could have bought them the latest. it's not that much of a stretch to ask you to spend at least $79, maybe even less. Oh, I forgot I wanted to give away this thing. All right, let's see. Fred's here, phasing out the X. Would BT show up in Tangem from importing a seed in Ledger? Not a good idea to import the seed from Ledger. A simple transfer would be more straightforward. Set up the Tangem as a seedless device. That's the way they were designed, to keep the seed safe from hackers and users. And then transferring Bitcoin from point A to point B has very low transfer fees. If you've got $1,000 in Bitcoin, it probably costs you a couple bucks to transfer it. You can import that seed phrase into the Tangem device, but I don't recommend that because that exposes the seed phrase to the Tangem app, which is, it's a secure app and everything, but your phone might have malware. So, the safest thing to do is set that thing up seedless and transfer rather than import your seed phrase into a Tangem card. If you're going to import a seed phrase, I recommend sticking with the same brand because of the derivation path issue, although, you can work around that issue. But yeah. Okay, so I wanted to give this thing away for you guys. For those of you who stuck around to the very end, so I'm going to write a number here on my little notepad that is between 1 and 20. And I'm going to hold it up so that when I turn around, when I turn it over, you'll know that I didn't have like a bunch of them laying in front of me and I was just going to, choose who I wanted. If Alina's here, Alina's already won, Alina's dad. If you've already won a device from me, then, please refrain. I can't remember everybody, but I'll remember your address. It's between 1 and 20, Dagan. Between 1 and 20. Okay, there you go. Dagan hit 1. Carol hit 1. Yeah, so just keep guessing numbers between 1 and 20. And when you hit, I am going to beg you and plead with you to send me an email with your contact information. I gave away some of these a while back, and the winners never contacted me. So I'm going to write down your... come on, guys. I know you can hit it. Oh, Lena. You've already... Okay, there it is. SB Bauer. Boom. SB Bauer just hit it. So all bets are in. Yeah, SB Bowser is the winner. SP Bowser, please, please, please. I cannot contact you directly. Hang on, let me do this. Let's see, here we go. All right, so you have to shoot me an email because I can't contact you after the stream is done. I'm not going to be able to contact you anymore. I don't know what that is about YouTube. If you post a comment in under the channel, I can reply to your comment under the video, but we can't post comments while I'm live, so it have to be after the fact. But SP Bauer hit 12 first. I was watching wherever you are. So wait a minute here. Yeah, SP. Wow, a lot of people were shooting numbers after that. Yeah, I was keeping an eye on SP Bowser hit number 12 first. So SP Bowser, you've won. But please shoot me an email at thecryptodad.com. thecryptodad@gmail.com. And just give me your shipping address and I'll send this thing over to you. It's a cool little device. I like the interface. You might want to check out the video that I did on this device. But like I said, I like the interface, and it's got a secure element chip, EAL6 EAL6 security rating. That's third parties. A lot of people, like, they get all oh, I have to trust a hardware company to generate my seed phrase. I don't trust them. Well, you don't have to trust them. They are tested by third parties. If these devices were not generating random private keys, it would be discovered by these agencies that run these security tests. So yes, you can trust these devices. They have official EAL6 Plus rating. So SP Bowser, please shoot me an email at thecryptodad.com, and we can shoot the proverbial you-know-what and talk a little bit and just tell me where to ship this thing, and I'll get it off to you. And thank you guys. Everybody started jumping in at the end there. I was like begging you guys, please shoot me numbers. Yeah. So congrats on that. I really appreciate it. I hope you haven't won before. I don't know. I'm having trouble when I go into my live stream. I can't see the chat stream after a couple days. I used to be able to do that, but now when I go in, I just want to, I'm going to go back up here. Yeah, S. Bowser was the first one. And who was the well, I had already turned it around, but you may not have seen the winner because I know there's a delay. So I'm just going to make note of the ones that guessed 12 after the fact. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, sure. That sounds great. SP Bowser's riding his bike. Oh, so it's just listening to me. Okay, we're a little bit over time. I want to thank everyone for joining me. But I find it interesting that a lot of people listen to this live stream on the go. And sometimes I'm doing on-screen tutorials. I don't think I did any tonight because we had a lot of news and I wanted to talk a lot about, the ledger situation and the details about that. But I find it interesting that some people just listen to my live streams. I'm wondering how many people do that. But SP Bowser, good to have you here. How are you doing this on a bike? I don't know. But anyway, that's funny. Let's see. Let's go over here. What do we got here? Yeah, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Don't forget, I do this every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Good night, everybody. And congrats on SP Bowser. I got to just SP Bowser. Yeah, I'll be looking for that email and I'll get your device mailed out. Congrats. All right. I should be getting some more free stuff in the future, so we'll do these surprise giveaways on the live stream. Good to have everybody here tonight. Have a good night.